Are you ready to expand your life and reality? Join us for the next hour with Jamie Bates as she shares life-changing thoughts, techniques, and awarenesses to help you expand your reality.
Hello and welcome. I am Jamie Bates, consciousness facilitator and expander of realities. My mission with my radio show is to create greater awareness of what is possible and to expand you beyond the limitations of this reality. I am grateful that you're joining me today. And today I want to talk about energetic surrender and why it is so important right now, you guys. Right now is intense, right? Mental health issues are at an all-time high. We are feeling and perceiving so many different levels of anxiety because the veil is thinning. Okay, the veil is thinning. The matrix reality is crumbling, and we are feeling the effects of that in our system as I speak. Okay, today is February 23rd, 2022. And we are literally, this whole year is going to be filled with intensity of quickness. And this is why it is so fundamentally important that you understand energetic surrender. So today I want to talk about this, okay? I want to talk about, first and foremost, why you are perceiving the chaos in the way that you are in your body, okay? And then I want to really talk about how you can start dissipating that, how you can release that from within your system and truly stepping into that new space. So right now we are waking up on a grand scale, right? And what are we doing? What are we doing with this wake up? We are realizing how broken the system that we live in is. And this isn't just in the United States of America. It's not just in Canada. It's not just in Australia. It's not just in, right? It's not just in the country that you're in. It's the whole world right now. We are living through a global awakening. We are waking up. We are realizing the spell that we have been under. And the thing is your body knows the truth, always. Truth vibrates at a certain frequency and vibration. Have you ever had an experience where you've always thought something was A, B, C, D, right? And it's always felt a little weird that it was A, B, C, D, but it was like, well, that's what everybody says, and that's what everybody lives, and that's what everybody does, right? And so it must be, and it's like, it just doesn't feel right. And then all of a sudden you have something happen, or you have an awareness about something, or somebody comes to you and tells you, no, it's D, E, E, F, G. And you're like, oh, that makes perfect sense. That feels so true to me, right? And all of a sudden everything changes because you always thought it was ABC, right? And then you find out it's DEF. And it's like all of a sudden your whole perception of the world changes, right? If you've been in consciousness work for any amount of time, it's probably been your reality a lot, right? And you've probably had all of these aha moments where you're like, oh yeah, that makes perfect sense, right? And all of a sudden, as you get more and more into truth, and as you vibrate more and more into truth, the world around you starts to look different. Things start to perceive differently. You have one awareness about something, and it catapults all these other awarenesses about something, right? The reality is we are waking up. And if you're functioning in a lot of places in your reality, which is common, right, that are built upon lies, this whole matrix system is built upon elements of lies, right? There's part truth and part lies. If you look at even a history book, everything that's written in the way that we live our life has been written in one perspective, one point of view. And we're realizing that all of those concepts, all of that polarity, all of that right and wrong and good and bad isn't even true. It's all based upon perception and point of view, right? And the reality is what's going on right now is, and if you've been doing consciousness work for any amount of time, you're probably not really functioning in a ton of quickness, like you're seeing everyone around you. But it's amazing right now, the amount of emails and messages I'm getting from people who are like, desperate for help. And I'm so grateful. I really am truly so grateful to have so many resources to be able to help people. Your body is always going to tell you if you're in a lie because it feels quick and chaotic and overwhelming. Now, the thing is it's not just like you're functioning in this one lie. It's like the whole system. Many of the systems that we function within are built upon a lie. Okay, so if you're waking up right now and you're realizing that, you feel quick and heavy in pretty much everything you do, you're not alone. Because a lot of the system that you're functioning within is quick and heavy. Because again, the bottom of it, the base form and structure of it is built upon a concept that isn't really necessarily 100% true. And your body can perceive that. And so your body goes to like quickness because it's like, it's telling you, hey, this isn't right. This isn't true. This isn't right. This isn't true. Now, we've been living in this quickness and this heaviness our whole entire life. Like since we were children, we've been dipped in this heaviness, right? And we've been told our whole life, this is true, this is true, this is true. And we're like, but something feels wrong, right? And the reality is our parents, something felt wrong with them too. And it's so interesting to me how much information we're getting right now about even like my husband was reading an article the other day about how all pop up until like, what was it, like 1950 something, don't quote me on that, but had like some uh, amount of cocaine in it. right. It's like it wasn't until, gosh, I even remember, was it in the 80s? I want to say it was in the 80s. I had a stepmom who was addicted to tab. Remember tab? I don't know if anybody had it in other countries, but we had it here in the US. And then I want to say it was like in the late 80s, sometime in the 80s, the story broke that tab had a ton of cocaine in it, right? And it was no wonder that, she was drinking like a 12-pack of tab a day, right? Because it had cocaine in it. She was addicted to it. I can remember her wanting, like literally her going, there was where she lived at, there was like a store across the street from her, like she lived in an apartment complex and the apartment complex had a store across the street. And I remember vividly when I would go to her house that she would go and get a 12-pack of tab every single day while I was there. And I would always think like, why does she drink so much tab? Well, yeah, it had cocaine in it, right? I'm just going to pull this through for a moment. So much of this reality has been to keep us addicted. And the thing is we've been addicted to the wrongness. We've been addicted to the highs and the lows of the polarity. And now the veil is thinning, right? And things are being exposed on a massive, massive scale. And the truth is starting to come in, but we are stuck in that up and down and that back and forth and that quickness of the polarity. And it's getting harder and harder to house the quickness of that polarity. In comes the energetic surrender. Breathe. It's time to let go. It's time to release. It's time to stop fighting against this reality. It's time to really see that within the fight, within the right and the wrong and the good and the bad and the upholding of the polarity, what we are actually doing is contributing to the system. And I know it takes a certain level of deprogramming in order to really get to the place where you can really truly see that you are just fighting against the system. Because that's all we've been programmed to do is fight against the system. And I'm so thankful and grateful every single day that I found consciousness work and I started diving into consciousness work and I started really finding what worked for me and I started really using these tools because they have saved my life. And not only have I saved my life, but I've watched my children become amazing, wonderful, strong adults. I have watched client after client step into a new space of capacity of them. And, you guys, I am so grateful and thankful for your messages and the things that you contribute to me about what this work is doing for you. I am so thankful to hear about how it's helping you and how it's changed your life. It really, it's indescribable, truly, to be in this place I'm in. This month, which is almost to the end here, February is my 8 years. 8 years I have been 100% online, doing this work, creating programs, really, truly meeting people from all over the whole world. And it's just been such an honor. I'm just in so much gratitude. It's just been such a good time. So as we continue through this year, we are going to continue to have these massive aha moments. And, my goal as a consciousness facilitator is to just facilitate consciousness, right? I love to be in this space of being a consciousness facilitator. It's truly been, again, one of the most remarkable things. And, the thing is as you uncover as you stop playing in the addiction to the polarity, you get to step into you get to figure out, you get to find, you get to align with who you be. And this year is going to be a big year for that. So yesterday I had the 222-22. Yesterday was 222-22. Yesterday was a big day. Let's talk about that for a moment, because yesterday I hosted a live event, which I still have on Conscious Empath programs. If you did not take it, I suggest you do. Okay, it was only $22. And this is a big part of energetic surrender. Now, one of the things is that is really coming forward right now for me, and one of the things I'm really having a ton of awareness about is, okay, so those mental pictures that you're always seeing playing in your mind like a movie. And the thing about these mental pictures is they're random. Like you might have a mental picture of you standing in a grocery store parking lot. I have one of those. That's why I say that. I have one of those mental pictures where I don't even know how old I am, like 7, and I'm standing in a grocery store parking lot, a grocery store that doesn't even exist anymore. But I do remember it fondly from when I was a child, because I had all my family shopped there, and I went there with all kinds of different family members, from my grandparents to my mom to my dad, right? I had lots of different connection points to that grocery store. Right now, I didn't have a ton of mental pictures, but I had a few that continue to replay in my mind. Now, the thing is we all have these like mental slideshows, and they have all these random little pictures, right? They may have a picture from, a childhood home, might have a picture from an experience that you had in your childhood, might have a mental picture of a friend you had as a child, might have a mental picture of a family member as a child, right? It has all these different mental pictures. Now, the thing is these mental pictures are always playing in your mind, right? You might have those times where you just randomly all of a sudden you realize that your mind is on this journey of this old mental picture, and you're like, what is that? I don't even know. I have no idea, right? Or maybe when you try to meditate or you try to quiet your mind for any amount of time, you see these mental pictures. Now, yesterday, I took you guys on a journey. I took a very, very powerful energetic journey. And what we did was we pulled up these mental pictures and we completed them. That's what's going to be required this year. This year is going to be about completing these old energetic cycles. Because you see, the thing is those old mental pictures have information within them. Now, I think at the time, when we were young, we weren't in a place where we could really receive the information. And I also think that there's another level of where almost like we stored that information because it was like, okay, I'm going to need this later, right? Because the thing is we're going to complete all of these mental pictures, all of these puzzles that we have within our field that we haven't been able to receive all of the information for. And those puzzle pieces are going to take you on the journey of the alignment of you. So yesterday I did my very first energetic journey. It was really, really fun. It was brand new. It's something I've never really, it's something I've kind of tinkered around with, but I've never fully been able to actualize and do. And we did it yesterday, and it was so fabulous. And I have already gotten a ton of feedback. I'm going to give a shout out to Jen McKinney, who does So Much Genergy podcast. She she emailed me and she said, I hope she doesn't mind that I share this. I'm sure she's not. She said, I did your journey last night, and I died and I came back when you told me to. So it was very powerful for her as well. Thank you, Jen. I love you, girl. She's such a gift to this world. I just love that girl. So I've just been really hearing from all these people that are saying, God, it was such a powerful journey for me. And so I'm really looking at that right now, and I'm thinking, this year might be a journey year. This year might be. I've been doing the portals, but I'm going to have to look at that and see. It might be time for me to really take you guys on energetic journeys more often. So I'm really excited about it. And I know that there's this piece within that journey that I haven't been able to access yet, which is this energetic surrender. And it comes from stopping the constant motion in your mind, slowing things down, getting out of the quickness, right? Surrendering, pulling in the ease. Let's breathe that through. It's time. It's time that we stop playing in the addiction to polarity. It's time. The thing is as we get into the space of us, we're learning the power of healing right now. We're learning the power, taking our power back. It's time to stop functioning within those martyr complexes where we're we're over gifting ourselves, right? We're trying to put everybody else's fire out except our own, where we're, feeling taken advantage of, feeling like we're showing up for other people and they're not showing up for us. Just going to breathe this through for a moment here. It's time. In this reality, we are all waking up right now. The veil is thinning. It's time to be able to receive what's real and true, surrendering, letting go, releasing. The reality is again, a majority of the form and structure that we're functioning within, a majority of the matrix reality is built upon keeping us addicted to the right and the wrong and the good and the bad, fighting the polarity of this reality. So everything, all the form structure that is set up, right? And this was, if we look at this, the timeline cycle that's going on right now from 2012 to 2021, that was that December timeframe, right? Was when essentially when the spell was broken. The spell was broken. And now we're shifted into this new paradigm, this new 9-year cycle, where now the truth must be revealed. The quickness, the overwhelm that you're feeling in your system is the upholding of the lies. Now, it's not that you're like consciously upholding a lie, right? It's that the matrix system as a whole was built upon a lie. And look at it. I mean, look at the truth. Look what's going on right now. They have us fighting against each other. I mean, they always have had us fighting against each other. That's how they've upheld everything. That's how they've kept us asleep. Keep them fighting against, keep them in the right and wrong and good and bad, keeping them hating each other, right? Because as long as we hate each other and other people's viewpoints and other people's points of views, and as long as we're fighting for what we think is right, we're never vibrating at our core frequency, which is truth, lightness, ease, oneness. Even if we look at the principles within the Bible, I mean, come on, you guys, look at organized religion right now. It's completely counterdictive to what it's supposed to be teaching. Everything has been tainted. Everything has been built upon lies. It's been perpetrated by systems and beings that want to keep you separate from each other, because as long as you are making your neighbor wrong, you never get to see what's right about any of this. It's time that we surrender to this reality. It's time that we learn to dance with the truth in a way that creates more for all of us. It's time that we allow ourselves to know the truth, to see the truth, to feel the truth. You don't have to function within the quickness any longer. It's been so long since I've functioned within any quickness. I can feel it in other people. I know what you guys are experiencing, and I'm not saying necessarily you in particular, but I know what people are experiencing, right? And you probably are in that same place where you can see it, and potentially, hopefully, I hope that you're feeling thankful that you're not in that anymore, right? Because you guys are the real superstars. You avid listeners of my show are the ones that are waking up. We're all waking up right now, right? We're realizing that, hey, you know what? We don't have to be in all this chaos. It's not even necessary. It doesn't feel good. And it creates chaos in every single area of your life, right? When you're dipped within that form and structure of this reality, it feels gross, doesn't it? It's like everything feels uncomfortable. Nothing feels easy. All of life feels like a struggle. I posted something recently about the frequency of ease, and I had a whole bunch of people say, life would be boring. I mean, I guess. I don't know. I don't think life is boring. I think it's magical and wonderful. And it's so fun. It's so fun to live a life of ease. It's so fun to be magical. It's so fun to be magical for others. I love the space of contribution. I get to be in the space I am right now. Life is easy, and I'm always in this space where I feel like I'm always like receiving who I need to be and what I need to be, and it just brings me to this place where I feel like I can always be there when something shows up, when somebody requires me, when someone's ready to receive. And I don't know, I think it's pretty magical and wonderful. And I wouldn't trade this space of ease for chaos in a million years. Even if you paid me $1 million, I love the space of ease. And I will choose it, and I will be it, and I won't force anybody to have it. You know what? You want to live in your chaos? Go right ahead. It doesn't have to affect me. It's an invitation that we all need to be. We need to stop trying to make everyone around you choose something different. So one of the things this year that we really have to get is you don't get to decide for others. You don't get to choose other people's healing. Everyone's on their own path in this reality right now. I did the Martyr Complex series in, was it December? It was a master series I did in December. And the things I've even learned since doing that master class have been amazing. It's really, truly amazing how deep we are within that system, how much time and space we spend dedicated to trying to save others, trying to help others, throwing ourselves under the bus in the process. Healing is a journey, and it's just a continuous unwinding of those old form and structures that we have been dipped in, that we have been taught to function within. It's time to surrender. So I have to admit, I I've been doing this really fun thing every week when I record my podcast, which is I just have to laugh, where I have been recording my whole podcast with it on mute. And then I realized at the end of it that it's been muted and I have to re-record it. So today was no different, where I recorded my whole podcast on mute. Then I uploaded it from my wonderful husband. My husband is my editor. My husband, for those of you who don't know, I haven't mentioned this in a while. I said it to somebody the other day and they said, "Oh my gosh, I didn't even know that." My husband is actually the beginning of the audio of the podcast, I'm sorry, is the music. My husband made that music. That is my husband's voice, the intro there. And on the outro, that is my husband. My husband actually makes music for people and records meditations and other things. Anyways, so my husband said, "Hey, there's no audio here." And I was like, "Oh my goodness, again." And I just laughed because I'm like, okay, well, apparently I had to restate all that. So I really can't comprehend what I've already said this podcast and what I said last podcast. It's kind of all mending together for me right now. So I don't really typically, I write a little bit of notes of what I want to talk about on each podcast, but I don't really like write it all out or anything. I kind of just go with the energy of the podcast. Again, ease, right? Flowing with the ease. So today, really, I hope more than anything, I just really invited you into some energetic surrender because you guys, it's time. Breathe it through. It's time that we find the alignment of us. And within receiving all of this information that we have stored within our being is truly the keys that we require to set ourselves free. We are stepping into an alignment greater than we've ever had available to us before. If you have not, again, taken yesterday's 222 portal, I suggest that you check it out. It's only $22. I know it was technically yesterday, and depending on when you're listening to this, I am going to keep it for sale because it was a very, very, very powerful journey. Okay, again, it's about getting a hold of those energetic pictures, receiving the information within them, and allowing yourself to start really assimilating the information that was within those pictures. You have those pictures stored for a reason. It's time to come to the energy and the awareness of what that is. So again, it's at consciousempathprograms.com. It's only $22. It's under the 22222 live event. I know I have a lot of courses in there. I think there's actually like 40 something active programs. I have over 100 in that portal. A lot of them I don't have for sale anymore. So there's a lot of programs that are hidden that people have bought in the past that I am not currently selling. I may take some of them out of retirement. I don't know. Some of them are pretty intense. We'll just have to see what happens with that. But you guys, I'm having so much fun. I am so in love with this life. I so love to do this work. I have an amazing group of people I'm working with right now. I have some small groups running. I have the consciousness facilitators going right now, and I have over 20 amazing new consciousness facilitators getting ready to be revealed to the world. So that is super duper exciting. They are really working hard right now, learning consciousness facilitation, and they are kicking butt, if I might say myself. So they are really learning and shifting and changing and growing and learning to facilitate each other, which is a really neat thing to watch. So I am super excited to be revealing them soon. I have so many fun things planned for the rest of this year. I am so grateful that you're here. I have been doing, if you're not on my email list yet, get on my email list. Go to consciousempath.com, sign up for my email list. I am doing a weekly energy update where I'm updating you on the energy of what's going on in the world right now. Been sitting with that every Sunday and sending those out. That's been a lot of fun. Lots of changes in my business right now, really stepping into the power of me. So I'm grateful that you're here. I'm thankful that you're listening, and I am so excited to connect with you in some way, shape, or form in the future. Thank you for all the love that you're sending me. I am just so grateful to be here. So thank you so much for listening to me today. And again, if you're not on the Conscious Empath on Facebook, check it out. I have the group, which I have to say I haven't been as active in there as I normally am, but I do have a lot of free stuff in there. I also have my page, which I've been trying to do a reel every single day. So I have my reels that I'm doing, which is fun. You can look at the reels, look at some of the things I've created in the past. I'm going to try to start doing an energy clearing every day. So lots of things going on, you guys. It's an exciting time to be alive. Thank you so much for listening to me today, and I will talk to you soon. Have a great rest of your day.
You have been listening to Expand Your Reality with your host, Jamie Bates. Thank you for listening.